Now, I've been in selling for a long time and I've learned a lot about closing and negotiation techniques. But I've not heard very much about button up techniques in that time either. Yet, in my opinion, being able to button up has to be as important as making the sale itself. And in the hands of most professionals I know, the button up process can take as long as the sale itself, and at other times longer. Yet the button up is perhaps the most neglected process in selling. I have no idea why this happens, but it does. And the reason for using the button up is it's the post-sell or the consolidation stage of the sale. And in so many cases, it's the button up alone that holds together a shaky sale. Perhaps an easier way of explaining this is to say, the better the button up, the less the chance of a cancellation. In fact, button ups can be so effective that cancellations will actually not exist. And that is fact. Now, I want to give you a little bit of homework, and that homework is go to Google and look up button up or button up the sale. And you'll be surprised because there's only one entry, and it's off an article that I wrote. In fact, that entry came off my current website, and it relates to something I wrote back in the early 1980s. Isn't that interesting? Now, let me explain something about closing. How closing the sale works is it's based around whatever urgency you can create with the prospect to ensure that they get something that they should have had some time back. They've obviously been wanting to have that particular product or service, and now you've turned up and you provide them the ability to get that product or service. On the other hand, buttoning up is your insurance to ensure that the sale doesn't cancel or fall over. Now, what a difference that will make to the way that you sell. I just want to add a few things to the button-up process because in the hands of the wrong person, your button-up could unravel right in the middle of what you're buttoning up because you've accepted the wrong ideology or said the wrong thing. So the first thing is never renegotiate any of the terms that you negotiated earlier, because the minute you do, they take control. And the minute they don't get what they want, you're now facing a cancellation. The second is never celebrate with your new customer immediately after the sale. Now, a lot of customers will want to go out there, they'll make a coffee, they'll make you a cup of tea. Whenever that happens, I ask them for a glass of water because I know if they make me a nice tea, give me a couple of bickies, or they make me a coffee and do the same, that they will then want something extra because they will feel I'm beholden to them for being nice to me. And the same applies with an alcoholic drink. Now, that to me is the dumbest thing you could do either during the presentation or after the presentation. Accept an alcoholic drink, and again, you don't know what their motives are and what they'll say. Just settle for a glass of water and you'll stay in control. And the fourth thing is you need to consolidate the fact that they bought off what you believe to be their dominant buying motive. If you don't do that, you're still guessing or assuming as to why they bought. And assumption in selling, as I've said many times before, has no place in selling. I also looked up the internet through Google for anything on consolidation or consolidating the sale or sales consolidation. And guess what I found? Absolutely nothing. But I'll do something about that in the next few days, and I'll make sure that that also appears in Google. And what does consolidation mean? Well, the dictionary says consolidation is an action or a process of making something stronger and more solid. Now, when it comes to making sure you can keep the sale that you've made, what is something stronger or more solid than that? Now, to round off the section on buttoning up the sale, I want to share with you some personal things that have helped me improve the way that I've sold and the way that I've earned, the way that I've closed, and the way I've gathered referrals, because buttoning up has helped me maintain a very high closing ratio. In fact, over the years, it's leveled off at about 90% of every person I get to see on the very first call. The second thing I want to share with you, it's provided me with more referrals and better quality referrals than I was getting before I started utilizing and using the button-up process. And here's the biggest rub. The consolidation stage, or the button-up stage of the sale, I believe has saved me millions of dollars in turnover. In fact, I'd probably turn around and say it has helped me write more than another $100 million worth of sales when I take into account my investment portfolio as well. And what you need to know, it's the main reason why I've had very few cancellations in whatever I've sold. And in fact, in one company over an 8-year period, where I sold over 4,000 higher level contracts, my cancellations were a total of 4 during those 8 years. And that's at 0.001% of everything I've sold. So if that's of benefit to you, make sure you become one of the people that starts working with the button up on every call you make, and then watch how much better your selling becomes.